Now on KGW News, an unbelievable survival story.
It was mind-blowing.
The biker that walked away from a crash even after his clothes caught fire. Plus, recovery mission in the Willamette.
What the divers were experiencing is zero visibility and 35 feet of water.
What police say a car was doing just before launching into the water. Then, Portland leaders try to stand up to Uber and Lyft to put more money in drivers' pockets.
Only language a bully understands is confronting them head on.
But see why several local organizations are pushing back. And later, an out-of-this-world record. Hear from the NASA crew after their trip to the far side of the moon. But our top story tonight is that recovery mission after a car with 4 people inside crashed through a metal railing early this morning and plunged into the Willamette River. Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich. 1 person survived and divers recovered 2 bodies. Another person is still missing. Alma McCarty is in the newsroom this evening with the very latest. Alma.
Yeah, well, Christine, Portland police said that the car started speeding on Southwest Harvey Milk away from an officer trying to pull them over around 3rd Avenue. We went from building to building today, working to track down any security video of that incident. Although no businesses we spoke with had a view of what happened, some folks told us they did hear quite the commotion.
Early Monday morning, police tape surrounded a section of Portland's waterfront park.
Over the course of just a very brief 15 seconds, 3-block radius, the vehicle accelerated eastbound on Southwest Harvey Milk and crossed Nadeau Parkway, crossed Waterfront Park here behind me, and then plunged into the Willamette River.
That car, police say, was a sedan with 4 people between the ages of 17 and 20 inside. According to PPB, they sped away from an officer who had just turned on his lights to initiate a traffic stop for reckless driving.
The officer arrived shortly thereafter and got up to the seawall, looked down into the river and observed 1 survivor swimming.
Emergency crews rescued that person from the water and got them to the hospital, reporting only minor injuries. In the daylight, divers scoured the river for the 3 others who were in the car. They recovered the bodies of 2 of them.
Like this is basically on your hands and knees over the size of a football field, which is what they've done today.
The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says other challenges include debris and fast-moving water, but they will return with sonar as a 3rd person remains missing and is presumed dead.
This is an incredibly tragic occurrence, something that nobody wants to wake up to.
And officials say at this time it is too soon to know when they may try to raise the car out of the water. Christine?
Yeah, really feeling for the family members who got that terrible news. Alma McCarty reporting. Thank you, Alma. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. There are more measles exposure sites to report. We learned of 2 locations in Kaiser where someone with the virus visited last week. The Oregon Health Authority says last Monday, March 30th, there was a measles exposure at 2 businesses on River Road North. Solar Nails between about noon and 4:15, and at Pho Kaiser between roughly 2:30 and 5:30. Anyone who is there and not vaccinated against the measles should talk to a doctor and let them know that they may have been exposed. And right now, Portland police are investigating reports of a shooting near Lentz Park. They were called to Southeast Schiller Street and 92nd Avenue around 5:30 tonight. Right now, police have an apartment complex near that intersection blocked off, with an officer on scene telling us that a suspect is inside a building. We're still waiting for an update from police. To Northeast Portland now, where a business is dealing with some serious fire damage. Portland Fire says flames broke out in a service truck parked right next to the building near Northeast Airport Way. Fire then spread to the building. Crews say they had to cut through the roof to fight the fire. No one was hurt, and the cause is still under investigation. Portland police arrested 5 people, then seized vehicles and guns after an illegal street takeover on Saturday. Police say they got reports of hundreds of people at 2 locations in North Portland, North Whitaker Road at Delta Park and also Northeast 33rd and Broadway. Crowds took over intersections as drivers performed stunts. Police say a driver even hit a pedestrian during a stunt, and they also found another person who'd been assaulted and severely hurt. In total, officers seized 8 cars and issued 8 tickets. Okay, we all know it because we felt it. The last 2 days feeling a little more like summer, right? With sunny, warm conditions. And today we actually broke a record for high temperatures. Meteorologist Joe Rennie here now with a first look at your weather impact forecast. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Christine. Hey, I know the answer, but I'm putting you on the spot. What would you rather have to start off April? April showers that we're so used to, or warm, record-breaking temperatures?
I would say sunshine.
I'm with you. I'm the same way. The last 2 days, we flirted with 80 degrees. Yesterday, we saw a record-breaking temperature of 79 degrees. We did it again today. Salem, you saw a record-breaking temperature as well of 79, and Eugene tied a record of 81 degrees earlier this afternoon. Downtown Portland right now, looking at a temperature of 56 degrees with clear skies. We'll see more of an onshore flow heading into tomorrow, so your Tuesday will be much cooler, but still sunny. Most of the areas that are going to be dealing with some patchy areas of fog will be throughout the wine country area and down to the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley. All this week, we're going to be bone dry. We warm back up, though, by the later part of this week by temperatures, I'd say, for Thursday and Friday, getting back into the low, maybe even into the mid-70s. And Christine, coming up in my detailed forecast, I'll talk more about when we'll be seeing our next round of April showers.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Joe. To the war in Iran now, where President Trump has threatened to blow up bridges and power plants. That is, unless an important waterway is opened by 5 p.m. tomorrow Pacific. The U.S. told Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz to all shipping traffic. The president today also said the entire country of Iran could be taken out if no deal is reached. But under international law, targeting civilian infrastructure that is not part of a military objective is considered a war crime. The war of words comes after the U.S. rescued the second U.S. airman shot down over Iran. The Army reportedly found them badly injured, but alive. The Defense Department says the CIA launched what it called a deception campaign to convince Iranians the pilot had already been found. That bought them time for the rescue.
This was an incredibly dangerous mission, an incredibly dangerous undertaking, but a filled promise made to every American warfighter that you will not be left behind.
President Trump is also making threats to whoever leaked information that there was a second airman missing, saying that Iran didn't know about them until they heard about the rescue in the media. He also threatened jail time for those at the media company if they didn't give up the source, though would not say which news outlet was involved. Back at home, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson is asking neighboring counties for money to help pay for homeless shelters. In 2 separate letters, Mayor Wilson requested $4 million from Clackamas County commissioners to support 2 Southeast Portland shelters and a Northeast Portland day center. He's also asking for $6 million from Washington County for 2 downtown Portland homeless shelters and an Old Town day center. Now, despite being located in Portland, the mayor says these sites are emergency resources for Washington and Clackamas counties as well. Washington County's chair appears willing to give at least $1 million to Portland, while Clackamas County leaders say they need to carefully look at the request. Portland is facing a $15 million gap in homeless services funding. It's part of a more than $50 million general fund shortfall this coming fiscal year.
We have to stand up to the bully. The only language a bully understands is confronting them head on.
The city of Portland is also considering a new rule that would cap how much companies like Uber and Lyft can take from each ride. The goal is to make it so drivers keep a higher percentage of the fee that riders pay.
I think it's high time that we actually step in and reevaluate the cost share and the city's role in regulating when we have an industry where the pay that drivers are ending up with at the end of the day really isn't covering, as I understand it, their cost of doing business.
In a statement to KGW, a spokesperson for Uber said the plan would force the company to leave Portland if it passes, adding the city already implements high fees and expensive regulations. And a coalition called We Play for Portland, which includes sports teams and arts venues, came out against the idea, saying it could reduce access to reliable rides for events. As of now, there's no date for when this ordinance will be heard again. To Estacada now, where a man and his dog are safe after getting stuck at the bottom of a 40-foot cliff. That happened this afternoon. Firefighters say the owner went after his dog, Izzy, who he says wandered down the hillside. Once reunited, he realized he wasn't able to get back up the hill. 2 firefighters were able to climb down and get both back to the top unharmed. Good news.